No, Pico, we're not invited. I thought you were used to that by now. It's probably because of you I don't get invited to people's. Shut. We're on. The neighbors are throwing a barbecue. You can hear the delightful squeals of their youngins. I gotta close all the windows. It's a beautiful day, and they're barbecuing in the final weekend of summer. Summer ended on the 22nd, I believe. Let's see. Hey Siri, when is the last day of summer? Siri just ignored me. Oops. Oh my goodness. Siri, am I on your shit list? I've sworn at Siri a few times. Last day of summer 2023. Yeah, today. Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. It's the end of the summer solstice. I bet you there's a specific time a day too, but let's not split hairs there. But happy Saturday all the same. Yeah, huh? Damn, summer's over. It's a happy fall. Happy autumn. It's actually my favorite part of the year. It's cooling off a bit, so you can wear your. I like shoes. I like good sneakers. I wear Adidas Gazelle sneakers. They're colorful and they're light and they fit my feet. And I used to wear Nike Cortezes, but they pinched my toes so badly they almost crippled me, like by bending my toenails into my toe. It was I almost had to see a podiatrist. I didn't. No. I just stopped wearing Nike and I switched to Adidas. Gazelles, yeah, they're my shoe. They were the official sneaker of South Boston, Massachusetts, about like circa 1987 to 1992 or something like that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Welcome back once again. It's time for the Comics Coffee Table. That's right, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. We congregate and talk about funny books. Remember, tomorrow is Sunday, and we will be doing the new release roundup. That's right, everything we bought on Wednesday, we're going to show off. Physical comics, copies of floppies. I don't find floppy to be a negative term, a pejorative. No, I celebrate that word. A serial, the comic book. Funny books. We come here to our very own Comics Coffee Table. There would always be the coffee table was always where my friends and I would congregate. There would always be a stack of books and a stack of movies and a stack of music. And a stack of video games. And a stack of books. And a stack of comic books as well. Funny books. Funny books. We talk about funny books, floppies, serials, monthly issues. I love comic book issues. There's something about it. That's where I am as a fan. I'm a big fan of the publication of the comic book, of the serialized issue in itself. I like how the advertisements can bring you back to a nostalgic age. It's really interesting. It's an unexpected power. And they're old magazines in a way too, and they're a representation of a niche market inside of the periodical print publication industry. Magazines, like People magazine, Time magazine, National Geographic, Rolling Stone, Vogue, Mademoiselle, Teen Vogue, or Cosmopolitan. magazines. And we are in the digital age. We're in the 21st century now. So online has really taken its rightful place in that marketplace. And that's where magazine culture has gone. Comic books are following suit. And the floppy as we know it could be changing. You know, I've been reading more and more digital comics, more so in the past couple of months and in my entire life. There was one time where I did have the 40 Years of Spider-Man on CD-ROM. Oh, man, it's irreplaceable. I mean, I read a bunch of those. So those were like PDF scans of actual comic books. That was fun. But I'm seeing like, it's basically art that's fabricated on a digital medium that's now shown on another digital display medium. It goes from the tablet to the screen, whether it's your phone, tablet, or your desktop. So I'm reading comics in a dynamic new style with the vibrant colors and the lettering techniques too, which suit a backlit surface. You need an external light source in order to enjoy this medium. So, I mean, this is, it's also on paper, which is a finite resource that needs to be conserved, right? And trees need to be saved. I mean, what's the future of paper when we have pixel? Will there be always room for paper, or will this make it just even an even more worthy art form to, because it's real. Or is this just antediluvian? I don't know. I don't have answers. All I have are more questions, apparently. And thank you so very much for everyone that tunes in. We are grateful and blessed. I forgot my new weekly, the weekly anti-rant. Maybe I'll do it today. On this day of fall. Winter is coming. Let's not talk about George R.R. Martin and the game and the Tale of Ice and Fire and the Game of Thrones. Or we could just say real quick that I think he's been done for years, that no young editor in their right minds would greenlight something with that much violence, especially towards women. And I think that the whole subtext of the punitive power of making a eunuch, such as with Theon or with Varys or with Grey Worm, that's an unacceptable kind of use of the intent behind it. Now that's something not to be used with shame. It's something used to be that's coming to terms with one's identity and their proper identity, so to speak, if that's how you feel and believe. Seriously, we're not going to see those books until after Mr. Martin's passed, when he can posthumously publish them in the way they were intended. That is my elevator pitch on where is the Winds of Winter. But the Winds of Winter are coming for us. Winter is coming. I mean, it's going to be October any second now. That means horror magazines and horror movies, and it means sweaters, and it means, your leather jacket. I like this kind of weather. My birthday is in mid to late fall. It's in, November, mid-November, late November, and right before, just Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving. And I love this time of year. Yeah, it's nice. I love the way that the air smells. I love the smell of the leaves. I live in Boston, in the Boston area, Boston, Massachusetts, United States, New England, and we have autumn, and we have foliage, and we have people that visit our area to see the beautiful foliages of these trees. And look, trees, these are trees too. Yeah, trees, paper, the circle of life. Happy fall with these wonderful leaves of this tree. I mean, what am I even holding right here? Let's see. How many inches do we have? Oh, okay, we just have a grab of a few issues here. We call it the mostly Marvel book, the mostly Marvel box, but we have some surprises here. Okay, let's talk with this. Okay, here, yeah, we're gonna do 3 and 3 here. I'll give you a new bag, and I'll triple you up. This is pretty fun. Because I love. This is from an imprint called Johnny DC, and this was meant to be like the kids version, or like, you know, just like not, it doesn't have the seriousness of the Prime Earth or the New Earth or the Earth Prime or the Earth Zero or even Earth 22. It's its own play. Now this is Justice League Unlimited, and this is a pre-existing property that, you know, most of it, if you're a comic book fan, you're probably, you know, all about this. Justice League Unlimited on the Cartoon Network. That was the successor of Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series. The Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Alan, that was Alan Burnett as well. That whole WB animation style. There's a whole universe of DC. It's its own Earth, its own Oa, and everything in this Bruce Timm style. And that is a wonderful playground. It's a wonderful place to have Justice League, and not just now. You have a continuation in comic form, and this is issues 17, 21, and 22. 3 random issues, because they're usually one and dones. And if I remember correctly, these have a ding. Look at that corner. In the comics code, a seal of approval. You know what I mean? Look at that. And this is a 2005 comic? Let's look at the indicia. When did this come out? 2008? 2006. This is March 2006, and I just got it off the shelf at my local comic book shop, at my LCS, where I get my bags, my boards, and my boxes. All my supplies. I get all my supplies at my LCS, the local mom and pop brick and mortar shop. You're never gonna find a bigger fan of the direct market of the local comic book shop than me and everyone else here in this chat. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have one, you know, you have had one, and you will probably value your next LCS visit more than I ever could. And that's, I value. I tried, you know. I have room in my heart for that social experiment, that social experience, going to the local comic shop and having a random conversation about comics with the staff and with strangers who share our culture, and even young people. I love that story about the late teen, early 20 something feminist girl who was drawing her web comic, like, you know, I think it was Spider-Man with a feminist slant, because she also had a stack of Spider-Man collections, and I got to suggest Ultimate Spider-Man to her, and, you know, which you know darn well I love, and we have a stack of them to get to, a huge stack of Ultimate Spider-Man to get to. I'm looking forward to that. That's some fun. That's like my birthday present to myself, you know. But let's look at this funny book. This is a funny book from May 2006. I could have also bought something like this at the supermarket. You don't find comic books at the magazine rack at the supermarket, or not in mine. I don't know. I don't have a super store like a big box store here in Boston that is also has the supermarket involved with it. We have a few local chains of supermarkets themselves. And you can't buy, well, up until recently, you couldn't buy beer, wine, or liquor in a supermarket. Those are sold in a liquor store, the liquor store. And we have and everything bought there had to come out in a brown paper bag, a nondescript, anonymous brown paper bag. This is Massachusetts, dude. Okay, but let's look at the ads. Snack foods. Who is this aimed at? This is Johnny DC. Let's go to the wikis. To the wiki! Johnny DC. is a comic book character, the Johnny DC imprint for younger readers. Let's go to the wiki. That's right, it has a wiki page. Johnny DC is a character that DC Comics has used at various times as a mascot for its line of comic books and occasionally as a metafictional character who comments on the comics in which he appears. The character originally appeared in various Silver Age DC Comics advertisements and was used to promote DC's entire line of DC Comics. He had a cartoonish face, wore a mortarboard, and had a stick figure for his arms and legs, and that his body consisted of the DC logo. In 2004, Johnny DC was revived and redesigned as a mostly silhouette cartoonish child. His name is now used as the name of DC's imprint of comics, marketed primarily to children approximately ages 8 to 13. The line consists primarily based on Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network animated TV series. These have included series that began as animated features, such as the ongoing to today on DC, not DC Universe. I don't even know. I have to look at the comics themselves. But Scooby-Doo and Looney Tunes, both that they're selling still for $2.99. This had a cover price of $2.25. $3 Canadian. And we have many first appearances of the spectrum of DC Comics heroes and this one united world of the Timverse, done in this this Bruce Timm style. And they all look like this. Yeah, they just... And we have this appearance of the Freedom Fighters. But yeah, Johnny DC. Okay, and those based on DC. There was Crypto the Superdog, the Batman Strikes, made from the Batman cartoon Saturday morning, not to be confused with Beware the Batman or Batman the Animated Series. Keeping it, you got your multiverse locked in. You know what are you picking up what I'm putting down? Holy multiverse, Batman! Legion of Superheroes in the 31st century, which was a really good, underrated cartoon. That was really good stuff. Long live the Legion, Justice League Unlimited, and Super Friends. The letters column of these titles are supposedly edited by Johnny DC himself, but in April of 2012, Johnny DC imprints have been discontinued and replaced with DC Comics Swirl imprints. And there was a Johnny DC as well. And she actually appeared Jonni, as she's a female version of the character. So there's Johnny and Johnny. Yeah, Johnny can be anyone. Johnny is everyone. You see? Johnny DC is in demand. Cartoon Network Block Party, Powerpuff Girls. My mom would have loved that. She loved the Powerpuff. She loves the Powerpuff Girls, or loved, because an era of her work that before her friends retired, there was a redhead, my mom, there was the brunette, and then the blonde, and they were like they didn't know the Powerpuff Girls as the show, but they loved the association with it. And sometimes that's all you need to fall in love with a comic book, you know? And in continuity to this world was this relationship. After John and Shira Hall break up, he starts dating Vixen. And so he's always going to have the kind of weird luggage that his ex is still in the Justice League. It's like his ex is Hawkgirl. And they broke up. And now he's dating Mara. He's dating Vixen. And it creates a delicious melodrama. That's, it's not a love triangle. That's your ex. Because we all know that there's Warhawk in the Batman Beyond future, who is the child of Shira and John Stewart. And so do they get back together? Does John leave Vixen for Shira? Who knows? It's all great, but isn't it great to have that kind of mind for it and just to think and to speculate? I mean, I love these stories. So these are pretty fun comics. And look, snack food. It's a crossover between the push-up ice cream pop that I would get more from the ice cream truck, and with Scooby-Doo, we got Big League Chew. It's bubble gum that's supposed to emulate like chewing tobacco. I remember when this came out, I was literally playing like my only year of Little League ball. Yeah, I was like 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10. I played left out. I sucked at baseball. And we have the Lilo and Stitch comic book too. I wonder if anyone we know worked on this. It's a bunch of people I know from in my comic book community, such as Aaron Sparrow or Jesse Blaze Snyder, that they worked. And then there is Tom Pratt of Clownfish TV, and they're all former, like I guess Disney artists. And they did different Disney stuff, but I loved the Bruce Timm style of Jon Stewart. An entire generation or two of kids. He is Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, was who? Exactly. And this was in the in the days before everyone made a big deal about representation and diversity and inclusion. I mean, there was already the Justice League had the deepest bench when it comes to that. And it just comes about there are plenty of characters of color in our toy box. Seriously. What's this at? Verb. How will Yellow Ball move you? Soak up the fun. Go play. verbnow.com. Should we check that out? No. I don't. Video game ads. Rampage. They made there's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie about that video game. Applejacks. Cereal. Let's see. Teen Titans Go. And Avatar. I never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I heard it's really, really good story. But we got Livewire, and we got Heatwave, and we got Dinah and Ollie, and look at that. Look, just as comic book fans, I'm looking at these 5 panels, and I'm loving it. That's really good. And an interest because that's or is that Icicle or is that Killer? That must be Killer Frost. Since it's ice powers, that's not Livewire. But they share that kind of iconic look. I wonder if that is. We have the book here. I mean, it is. It's Heatwave and Killer Frost in a lover's spat. So their lover's spat is supposed to be That's the thing. The story note of. Oh, here it is, too. Are you dating Vixen? Are you back to Shira? Yes, I'm still seeing Vixen. No Shira. I don't know. It's complicated. He's clearly stuck on her. Now I'm stuck on him. It's kind of like, and that's kind of Pop Party, too, in a way, too. That Roy Lichtenstein kind of thing. That's what I'm getting from that. I like that. I like art, and I like, Oh, and by the end, we have a team up with, with Shira in this. And it's a really good one and done issue. It's just a comic book story. Do we have creator credits on this? And we have the Indicia. Let's look at the Indicia. July of 2006. And here what else is offered that month. Indeed. Yeah, it's about relationships because Dinah and Ollie are like one of the best, the strongest couples in most enduring in DC continuity, in DC Comics. And so they do their own thing here with putting Jon Stewart not only with Shire Hall but with Vixen. It's really cool. Look, video game ads. This is, and look, snack foods. All right, see, this is a 17-year-old comic book right now, 2006. Yeah. So this one's 17 years old, and this is the ads that were in this. And remember, this was targeted, this was marketed at a younger audience. But, you know, where would the younger audience have an opportunity to have this as like a buying option, an 8 through 13-year-old? No. I mean, 17 years ago, a 33-year-old man bought this, new, off the, you know, that's who that audience apparently was, you know, someone in their 30s. Yu-Gi-Oh! That shit was huge. It's a USP dual pass key. But yeah, look, it's a Batman Lego. That stuff's cool. I had a huge. This is like during my Lego phase. That's my last remnant of my Lego phase. Is the Gotham skyline. That's how you would see the. That's how you would see it from stately Wayne Manor's library. That's from the Palisades across the bay. That's how you would see the Gotham skyline. That's my joke. I'm a huge Batman fan. If you ever wondered what that was, that's the Gotham skyline. Yeah. Awesome. We got one more issue of this. And look, it's not just cars, it's the video game for cars. I wonder if that was fun, because I love racing games as much as I love. I don't really play video games anymore. I think the last video games I really played were Dragon Ball. Okay, but one of the last video games I played was Dragon Ball Fighters on PS4. You wonder, I love Dragon Ball games. It was like playing inside the cartoon, and I say that for mostly every generation of system too. But this one was just flat out like Street Fighter 2 type of game. And I played it for about 2 or 3 years, and during lockdown. And you could play people online, fight people. It's just, and be part of tournaments, and use, like, I had a team Vegeta that was like, you know, young Vegeta, like Prince Vegeta. I had Super Saiyan Gold Vegeta, and I had Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta as my 3-person team. And it was just kick ass. I love that shit. But yeah, I mean, that was like, I think one of my last video games. That and Star Wars Squadrons, Big League Chew. Bubblegum. But it's not just bubblegum, it's bubblegum that's supposed to look like chewing tobacco. I wonder if Big League Chew has fallen under the radar of, like, you know, weirdness. You know, people just like getting outraged. Let's look it up. Big League Chew bubblegum. Oh wow, it's still available. Wikipedia. Big League Chew is an American brand of bubblegum that was created by Portland Mavericks left-handed pitcher Rob Nelson. And it was then pitched to the Wrigley Company, longtime owners of the Chicago Cubs. And it was introduced in May of 1980. Yeah, I would have been, you know, 7 going on 8. And I remember when that stuff came out. Yeah. And it's still being used. But it's literally problematic. You're grooming, you know, sorry, I can't say that word on YouTube. I'll get struck by the gods. You're brooming children to want to chew tobacco. You want to make a generation of sidewalk spitters and Kodiakers? Man. Yeah, those are like, you gotta realize that those are like candy cigarettes. Big League Chew. I'm being serious. How was it not? Oh, this is what we figure out. And just like, these are nice one and done issues. You don't have to think too much. All you got to do is just open it up and enjoy it. This was written by Adam Beecher, and it's got really solid art by Rick Burchett, and pretty much everything I hate about modern comics started here. Like, you know, look at that. We got Ben Day dot filters. We've got It's probably drawn on a tablet because we go from art to colors like that. Maybe it was the proving ground. But look at like this host of DC characters rendered in the unique Tim style. I love that Huntress. It's Aztec? Come on, they got Aztec. Dude, Aztec. Grant Morrison's Aztec. Dude, he lives. He lives in this universe. We've got some Superman the Animated Series. Brainiac Attacks. Hubba Bubba Bubblegum. It's got 2 flavors. My mouth's watering just thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, these are just wonderful tales. It's told from Gypsy's point of view, you know, and it's the Wally West Flash. Love the use of Wally West in this show. And look, more Batman Legos. I was in a huge Lego phase. I actually, my Lego phase would come a decade later. My Lego phase starts in 2015, and I had a huge Lego phase. It was great. Video games. Remember, this is a 17-year-old funny book. Its retail price was $2.25. Just like classic action. Look at that. Strong, stunning, and brave, and beautiful. That's Gypsy. Look at that. Like it could be. I don't watch Venture Brothers, but isn't that like sequence of 5 panels right there? Like could be or 9, 10. This 10-page, panel spread here, telling a little story within the story. This is an action sequence. Look at these 10 panels. I love this thing about just storytelling. The sequential art of comic book panels. I love this. Look at that. I just think that, okay, there are 6 here. There are 5 here. So we got 11 panels. Sequential art telling the story and beats and dialogue and narrative caption and an art. What a wonder. I love spending time talking about comics. Look, junk food. But it's like cross-related junk food. But this Justice League had the attention of like an entire generation of not just kids, but adults my age then too. I mean, the Timverse was wonderful. Was a wonderful place for DC fans to hang out in. Mojo Jojo, Johnny Bravo, and I don't even know this one. Is that Ed and Ed, or does it say it right there? But it's in Cartoon Network Block Party. Well, house ads. And more Batman Lego. And Aztec. I'm getting a kick out of that. We got Teen Titans. We got the Secret File subs. We got a sweepstakes here. Look at that, a giveaway. Now that's cool. And here, a mail page, and showing kids art. Oh, that's cool. All right, isn't that cool? I think that's cool. What a nice comic book. If you can, get your hands on this. If you can find any of these in the dollar bins and back issue bins of your comic book shops, go for these ones. If you're so dissatisfied and outraged over modern comics, the way they look, the way they feel, the way they sound, and the way they're handled, well, what's stopping you from getting a back issue of something that, you could take a chance on? These are really fun. It's been so great to just flip through these and catch up on them. I forgot how fun these were. I have Batman the Animated Series as a great box set. I got Superman the Animated Series on Black Friday last year it was so marked down. It was just, I would have been crazy to not get it. But also the digital rights, the digital version expired. So that's probably why, just He got a cutthroat rate on that, but it was wicked cheap. I've got basically all the Batman animated series movies. Mystery of the Batwoman, Return of the Joker, Batman Beyond, Mask of the Phantasm, of course. And three more. I need Justice League Unlimited to complete that animated universe. That would be a complete animated universe. I love the end of Justice League Unlimited. It's called Destroyer, like the Kiss album. And it's about Darkseid being reconstituted. And it's about this great fight between Superman and Darkseid at the end. And it starts off like really fun. Like, are you kidding me? That's Lex flipping Luthor. It opens up. The cold open it's part 2. The Legion of Doom comes, knocks on the Hall of Justice door. They're all there. There's about to. We need your help, Lex Luthor says to Superman. Like, that's a great opening for it. Seriously, that's a really good. So I'm waiting for the sale. I will one day get Justice League and Justice League Unlimited to complete that. I got Justice League versus the Final Five. That was just really good. That's got Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, and it's got Starboy, Tom Caller of the Legion of Superheroes, who is like, I think a really good excuse to have, if you want to have mental health awareness in a comic. I mean, I think Tom Caller is a wonderful place. This is the Trial of Shazam. It's before Flashpoint, but it's after Final Crisis, I believe. Let's look at the indicia. (2006). Okay, so this is after Infinite Crisis, and Billy's magic is changing. This is when Billy goes from the red costume to the white costume with the hood. I like that look, but it's not my favorite. But it's maybe my second favorite. I like a classic looking. You can see here on the cover the transition from red to white, and Billy's changing. So I think Billy's becoming the Wizard Shazam, perhaps. Beer Fest. Oh, what a fun movie. And we are going into fall time. It'll be Oktoberfest soon. Good time to be sober. Yeah, I got to watch my drinking. Ugh. But Howard Porter before this was doing lots of issues of The Flash with Jeff Johns, and he made a purposeful change in his art style to more of these to very is it pencils and then or is it he has made such a dynamic break in his style. I wonder if it was maybe it was digital coloring or not, but yeah, I like Judd Winnick's writing. Look, a video game ad. But I only stick around for the first couple of issues. How long did this go? Trials of the Shazam, the complete series. It published from 2006 to 2008. It was a 12-issue limited series, and it was illustrated by Howard Porter, then Mauro Cascoli. And the story of the limited series follows plot elements introduced in Infinite Crisis, Day of Vengeance, and the one-shot Brave New World. Writer Judd Winnick, I'm reading this from the wiki. Writer Winnick conceived the story to update the character, who was largely unchanged since his creation in the 1940s and was seen by many people as a low-quality copy of Superman. The updates included changing the character's focus from regular crimes to magical ones and removing some of the sillier elements and putting Captain Marvel Jr. Freddie Freeman in the leading role. When exchange to the franchise was short-lived, being undone by a 2009 storyline in JSA. Following the events of Infinite Crisis, where the wizard Shazam and the look at this art. Look, it's always nice to look at Zatanna. I love, she's so well done. But yeah, purple even then, huh? It's been out there. It's just where the wizard Shazam and the Rock of Eternity were destroyed, Freddie Freeman, Captain Marvel Jr., and Mary Marvel lost their powers. Captain Marvel changed his names to Marvel, assumes Shazam's role as caretaker of the remains of the Rock of Eternity, and gives Freeman a quest to prove himself worthy of replacing Captain Marvel. Blah, blah, woof, woof. By the end, Freddie says the word Shazam and gains the full powers of Shazam. Pass the power. And see, but great kind of just, this is an info dump page. 5 panels. And they don't even have to mention that was Captain Nazi who did that. It just shows his iconic color scheme. You know, it was the bad guy character in Fawcett Comics, Captain Nazi himself, who crippled Freddie Freeman. And that he also killed his grandfather, I think. It was his grandfather. Didn't make it from that encounter with Captain Nazi. Therefore, Freddie Freeman always had the mad on for Captain Nazi. So yeah, this weird, so Howard Porter totally changed. Hey, look, David Beckham. Dude. And the ubiquitous milk ad. Look, I was about to say his unfashionably and potentially phobic Red Sox nickname for A-Rod, but I don't believe in, overusing. I don't know. I'm done. You know what? I'm done with using gay as a pejorative. Sorry, I'm a grown up. There's a point to normalization where I think our gay friends just simply want to get rid of the concept of the closet and just live life. I'm all for that with them. And I love the white look from Mary Marvel. She fell from the sky. You know what I mean? Her powers, their powers failed them in the middle of the Infinite Crisis. And now Mary's got to recover. And it gives you this the hospital drama, melancholy, melodramatic beat that is associated with soap operas, and nice splash page. And here we go. This is the reveal of the white uniform. This is Billy Batson as the new wizard. And I really like that outfit. I really like the costume and the look. And Rush City. We have a double page ad. And there's a you too could win a 2007 Pontiac Solstice as seen in the comic book. It's not just Family Guy. It's a Family Guy video game. But it's like Matrix-like. I mean, look at that. That's straight out of the Matrix when Neo meets the architect, right? All the TV screens and the more video game ads. I never got into Naruto. I was a little old for that. Whoop. And here we go. Something like Cthulhu, or is it something Yonic? Which is also known as an Onyxial. What does that even mean? Oh, Yonic/Onyxial is the female version of phallic. So if you know what phallic looks like, then use your training in biologies or stuff. Yonic or Onyxial would be the girl version of so something that looks phallic. Something that would look like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. Oh gosh, we got to wrap this up. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Happy Saturday. We've just been reboxing, reboarding, and rebagging some funny books. So here we go. Here's our new box. We're just gonna take better care of them. They all deserve a new home and new boxes. So here we go. This one, when we're done with these, we're gonna have to go through them all and do a grand sorting of keepers and stayers. Yeah, we'll find out. Coming soon to our very own show here at the Comics Coffee Table. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Spending your break with us, talking about comic books for just a few minutes in your busy day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Just click on that button, turn on the notifications, hit that like button. You know what I mean? Be part of what's going on and be part of this ongoing comic book shop style conversation. Daily, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Join us. God bless, namaste, good luck, and we will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.